Cindy and company has been having some flood issues where they are. So just, bear with them and be mindful of that. And our thoughts are with you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Orlando. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the inaugural At the Table pitch competition, where 5 libraries will have the opportunity to showcase their ideas on how they support economic development, job creation, entrepreneurship, innovation, and more. We're really excited to hear these upcoming pitches. But before we get started, we would like to say thank you to EBSCO for proposing and sponsoring this pitch competition. We invite Duncan Smith, Chief Strategist for Public Libraries, to share a brief word.
Thank you, Natalie. First of all, I want to thank Jen Hensel, pitch coach extraordinaire, for all her work with today's contestants, and also for her presentation that she did just a few minutes ago, where she pointed out that public libraries in general, have an important role to play in their local economic and entrepreneurial ecosystems. But we also know that not all communities appreciate the value that the public library brings to the table when it comes to economic development. So I want to also thank my colleagues on the planning committee, and the people who pulled this conference together, because they really have embodied the entrepreneurial spirit and shown what it means to effectively pivot when faced with all kinds of obstacles. So it's been just a joy to work with you. At EBSCO, we also appreciate the opportunity to provide today's contestants with the chance to improve and test out their skills at showing the true value that public libraries and libraries can bring to their communities. And we really do enjoy supporting all libraries everywhere and doing the life-changing work that you do every day. So thank you, and let's roll.
Thank you, Duncan. And just one more time, just want to give another round of thanks to Jen Hensel for being the coach for all of our 5 pitch finalists. So again, thank you, Jen. It was wonderful help. Joining us today is our panel of judges. We have Janet Wurtzel, consultant to the Delaware Division of Libraries. We also have Daisy Magnus Aite, program director at NC IDEA. And we have Jim Correll, director of Fab Lab at Independence Community College. So thank you again to our panel of judges, and we look forward to getting your feedback and questions. So a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. The At the Table 5 finalists will have 5 minutes to pitch their ideas. To minimize disruptions during the pitches, please stay on mute and turn your video off. Also, make sure to keep your questions to the end. We will have a designated time for Q&A. You will also have the opportunity to vote for your favorite pitch. At the end of our event, we'll have a poll, so make sure to take notes. And the winner of the Audience Choice Award will take with them $500. Make sure to stay tuned, as the winners will be announced during today's virtual happy hour, and then they'll be announced once again during Friday's opening remarks. All right, so without further ado, the reason you are here, we will get started with our first pitch, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. That way our first pitch finalists can start sharing their presentation. So to get us started, we're gonna have Frozen Dead Librarians, Unthawing the Undead in Our Local Economy, presented by Electra Greer and Michael Sivkovic from Netherlands Community Library. So please, Electra and Michael, take it away.
All right, thank you so much for having us.
All right, we are going to
Just gonna go right ahead.
Present. All right, hi everyone. I am Electra Greer, and I'm the director of the Community Library District in the mountains of Colorado.
And I'm Mike Sivkovic. I am the Patron Services Supervisor, also in Nataly, Colorado.
And we are your Frozen Dead librarians for the next 5 minutes.
Now, Nataly is a small mountain town about 40 miles north of Denver, and we have about 1,500 residents here. The library services an area of about 5,000. And with access to millions of acres of national forest and a little ski resort, our town relies heavily on tourism for the basis of our economy. And to help bolster that economy, Nataly also plays host to several music and art festivals a year.
Frozen Dead Guy Days is the town's largest festival. It generates vital revenue for all of our small businesses and our restaurants, and hence also we brand ourselves all the time at the library. We are the Frozen Dead librarians. And after this pitch, feel free to reach out and we'll tell you all about our most famous cryogenically frozen grandpa in the tough shed, and that is not a joke. He is in the tough shed.
It's true. So the effect of the pandemic this year, along with some wildfires in our area, have really slowed visitors and tourism in our town. Of course, this puts businesses under a lot of strain. Businesses, to adapt to this, have started moving to more modern and proactive outreach and marketing instead of relying on the more passive approach that comes with being in a tourist town. So we've noticed that some of the organizations that have embraced a community-centered approach to this and an active community role are having a smoother transition with experience.
Everyone in this conference knows that our town and its local businesses are not alone. Throughout the country, small businesses everywhere are having to adapt quickly to online sales and online marketing, and all of us librarians are having to adapt, and we know it's costly. Right? It's time consuming. It requires expertise. So from what we've learned having to adapt, we want to bring that to our small businesses and entrepreneurs and help them adapt. And that's where we believe public libraries can help.
And so we know that video production is one of the most effective tools in modern marketing. And by listening to local businesses, learning from those around us, we started developing a hands-on, affordable production model, as well as ongoing expertise in promotion and analytical support.
And just to give you a little bit of background, about 3 months after the pandemic began, we realized it wasn't going to come quickly. So we pivoted within our library walls and we turned our unused programming space into our video space. And reaching out, we already had a lot of local authors and artists and musicians that we knew, and we started inviting them in to do some video production between our stacks. One thing I do want to emphasize is we're a very small library. And so if we can do it, small libraries can definitely have a big impact. Invest in video production. All know this is investing in a 21st century business skill. So it's critical that as you develop and grow, you bring that skill to your libraries. What has been one of the best things that has happened with all of this? It has brought new traffic through our library doors. So that is a win-win. New traffic for us, new demographics. We're expanding our revenue sources, and so are our businesses.
And so by putting together packages that both streamline the process for us as well as customers, we've created an inclusive program that helps businesses and organizations of all types and sizes in our community. From pre-production checklists all the way up to an upload-ready video, the Nataly Library both collaborates and advises businesses and organizations in our community. From budding local breweries to local authors and nonprofits, these are just a few of the customers that our products help promote.
One thing that we really want to emphasize is that all of our businesses, entrepreneurs, they're investing in our libraries all the time. So it's really important that now we can show them a tangible return on their investment in their public library.
And to help grow that, this is what we're in this competition for. We plan to grow the scope of our services through professional editing software and training for both our staff and customers. And
editing is where the magic happens if you don't know that already. So from perhaps we have opera singers that have come in, we are doing something with historical homes. The most important thing is that we're really broadening our reach in the community, but we were also recognized that we had to be careful that we could sustain this beyond what we were promising. So our board did approve a cost recover policy, and I did just lose my timer, so I'm going to speed up just in case. And I know everyone here can read, but nonprofits receive up to 10 hours of our services at no cost, and for-profit businesses pay a production fee. This is the critical slide. We do want to say that, yes, I don't want to forget this. We measure impact. if our businesses are doing well, our library is doing well. So we ask that when people partner with us, our patrons and our entrepreneurs, that they share their analytics from their marketing, and they also fill out an evaluation form so we can be sure that they're effective and that we're effective.
But what good is pitching businesses if we can't pitch ourselves?
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll add some links to some of the videos that we have created over the past few months. We invite everyone to come check them out. And of course, we wish all of the libraries in the competition the best of luck. And for all of your future cryogenic freezing needs, think of the Nataly Community Library.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you so much, Electra and Michael. If we can give them a round of applause, a Zoom round of applause, that'll be great. So for our next pitch, we have Rejuvenating America Through Skilled Technical Trades. This will be presented by Sherry Simpson from Pope County Library System. So Sherry, please, as soon as you would like, you can start sharing your screen and get started with the pitch.
See if I... Okay. Am I good? Is my screen shared correctly? Okay, yes. Great. I have my IT person here, so wonderful. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Sherry Simpson. I'm the director of the Pope County Library System in Arkansas. I moved to Pope County when I was just a toddler, and I grew up here and graduated from Arkansas Tech. And early in my career, I was blessed to work with Winrock International, which is the Rockefeller Foundation dedicated to increasing economic opportunity around the world. And I eventually returned to my hometown as a teacher. Here I was really shocked to realize that the children and grandchildren of the families who were poor when I was in school there, they're still poor. And this focused my attention on fighting generational poverty here at home. Arkansas is predominantly rural, and Pope County is definitely rural. While you can usually find a job, it's challenging to find one that pays a livable wage. And as a result, almost 70% of our students, they receive free or reduced price lunches. If your parents were poor, you're likely to be poor, and your children and grandchildren are likely to remain poor. So for many, the traditional paths out of poverty just simply aren't feasible. College seems unattainable without racking up a lot of debt. And for the most part, the military is no longer an option. However, there are over 70,000 unfilled skilled technical positions just in Arkansas. And that's a number that's growing every day as more than a quarter of those current workers are nearing retirement age. These are positions that pay livable wages and offer career tracks, not just minimum wage jobs. And 17.5% of skilled tradespeople go on to start their own businesses and become self-employed. So how do we, as a library and a community and a country, use this to help lift our people out of generational poverty? In 2018, our library was selected for the ALA second year cohort of Future Ready with the Library, which is a college and career readiness program geared toward middle school. We designed our pilot program with 2 tracks, College Bound, which focuses on test prep, FAFSA, scholarship resources, and the second one was professional skilled trade. But we found that the typical student and many parents aren't aware of the career opportunities available through skilled trades. For decades, there's been this misconception that to make a good living, you have to have a college degree. And while it can open some doors, that's simply not true. In fact, research from the Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation indicates 70% of future jobs will not require a 4-year degree. So with our community partners, we created the annual Skilled Trade Expo to give students the opportunity to meet real people working real jobs in their community. These are jobs that don't require a degree. Following the initial expo, feedback was overwhelming that this program, originally for middle school, had to be expanded to include high school students. And our second expo, which we've opened up to the community, led us to create Elevate to Employment to serve adults who are already in the workforce, but often working jobs that don't pay a living wage or offer career opportunities. Elevate to Employment is a series of 4 intensive workshops that transition participants from entry-level or dead-end jobs to careers. In Job versus Career, How to Find, Get, and Keep a Job, guest speakers, and hiring managers, we introduce them to career opportunities and real people working at or hiring for local businesses. This helps wage workers obtain and hold jobs in industries that provide a living wage, job security, and advancement opportunities. These careers lift residents from generational poverty They can't be exported, ensure patrons in the region's economic prosperity, and enable many to eventually start their own businesses. The most important resource is building relationships with the area governments, educators, employers, and economic development and industry partners. And here the library acts more as a catalyst and a connector and creates a network effect. In our first year, we served over 900 students. The next, over 2,200 students and 500 adults. And while this year's event was canceled due to COVID, more than 3,000 students had pre-registered. This all in a county with just over 64,000 people. Going forward, impact will be assessed via 3-month, 6-month, and annual feedback from employees and employers. But at the end of the day, success is measured by filling jobs and eventually by our skilled tradespeople creating their own new local business. We've already been privileged to see both students and adults offered positions by our industry partners. And we've been humbled and thrilled to attract interest at the local, state, and now even the national level for our program. The key feature to this approach is that from a funding perspective, a little bit of money goes a very long way, which is critical for smaller, poorer libraries and communities. The key resource, as you've probably noticed, is really the relationships. Building these relationships may take time, but they don't take money. And this approach builds an amazing network of advocates for the library. We designed the program, tested it in our community, and built the partnerships. We've created a template that's easily adaptable by other communities. And with additional funding, we will grow Elevate employment and expand it from Pope County throughout Arkansas, and I hope the nation. With your support here today, we can change the economic landscape of our state and our nation and provide a lifetime of job security and opportunities, all while combating generational poverty and creating a new generation of local entrepreneurs. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you.
If we could again give Sherry a Zoom round of applause. I see they're already coming in, so that's fantastic. So for our next pitch presentation, we will have Project Click, connecting local entrepreneurs with worldwide markets, and it will be presented by Cindy Pendergraph and Camelia Walker from Wayne County Public Library. So Cindy and Camelia, please feel free to take it away.
Thank you. Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Great. And is our screen presented in full effect for you?
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Camelia Walker, and I'm co-presenting with Cindy Pendergraph. We're representing Wayne County Public Library in Goldsboro, North Carolina. We're introducing Project Click, using the power of pictures to drive online commerce. In Wayne County, we saw that economic challenges resulting from the pandemic are continuing, creating higher unemployment and underemployment. We recognize that small businesses have always been a solution for enterprising people, so the library wanted to find ways to help current and aspiring business owners while continuing to prioritize social distancing. We had an idea that helping people capture quality photos of their goods would help business owners succeed in e-commerce. In considering what our target population would be for this project, we thought about Wayne being an agricultural community, and that gives us a really strong migrant farm population. We're also a military town, and we want to support our Air Force families. So we made our target population for this project to be people of color, women, and military families.
Project Click was designed for business owners to incorporate online sales or for people looking to start a side hustle or maybe a small business. For example, these people need good quality images to attract customers. So through a grant, the library was able to purchase a good camera, a light box, and editing software, which is an expensive investment for an individual trying to start a business and could be a significant barrier. But we made this investment possible. Plus, in addition to good photos, Project Click brings powerful tools with the Jobs and Career Accelerator database and business webinars, including the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program, which is a powerful tool to help people shift into thinking like an entrepreneur. This training helps people overcome the mental barriers that can help keep them from being successful.
Okay, it's working.
So we see this project will have a positive impact on our community by increasing people's ability to access online markets, such as Facebook Marketplace or maybe Etsy. When businesses shift to online markets, they increase their opportunities for customers and business. In addition, another impact of Project Click is we're helping people by providing tools to assist them with personal and professional development.
We did this, and we think other libraries can do this too. Wayne County Public Library won a grant from the State Library of North Carolina through the NC Cares grant program. That money enabled us to purchase 2 sets of photo equipment, expensive digital editing software, and the robust EBSCO database. Even without a grant, we think this project is doable for other libraries because it's scalable. A library could start smaller than we did. You could just get a light box and help people take really good photos, well lit with their mobile devices. You can also get support and assistance from your friend's organization or with community partnerships like we did, and also potentially with grants like we did. Whatever route other libraries take, we hope you'll join us in supporting and inspiring entrepreneurs to stay safe, stay busy, and join the world of e-commerce. And I'm going to end by showing you a picture of us because we haven't done the video, just trying to maintain as much bandwidth as we could. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you, Cindy and Camelia. Another Zoom round of applause for these two would be great. We'll be rolling on and continuing with our next pitch presentation. Coming up, we have Excel Corona, Workforce and Innovation Services, and it will be presented by Ashley Arias and Danielle Perez Granado from Corona Public Library. So Ashley and Danielle, as soon as you're ready, feel free to take it away.
All right, can you hear and see our slide?
Yes.
Perfect. Can you hear me? I was having some issues with my unmute.
Yes, we can hear you.
Are ready
Perfect.
to go, Ashley, go for it.
Hello, I'm Ashley Arias, joined today by Danielle Perez Granado to present our project, Excel Corona Workforce and Innovation Services. We thank you for your time and consideration today. Danielle and I hail from the Corona Public Library, a municipally funded single branch system serving the city of Corona with a population above 167,000 residents. Corona is located in Southern California's Riverside County.
The Corona Public Library currently offers 2 main programmatic services to adults named Adult Reading Assistance and Veterans Connect. As our sole budget is dependent on local developer fees in a city running out of space to develop. We find ourselves here as a result of never bouncing back from the 2008 recession, numerous organizational changes, and the proprietary planning style that preceded our current collaborative environment. Additionally, we do not receive an annual operating budget beyond staffing, relying 100% on donations for grants or donations and grants for all program supplies.
Statistics time. Steve, please pull up our poll. We would like you to select the percentage range for how many Riverside County residents you think may struggle to read or do math at level 1. Level 1, as defined by the National Center for Education Statistics, is the ability to read basic signs or singular documents and the ability to do single-step mathematical functions with whole numbers. Before we reveal the answer, we wanted to share the pre-COVID unemployment data of our area. We realize that unemployment can have varied causes. However, we believe that part of the problem stems from low literacy and numeracy.
Sorry, that slide was supposed to go up during the poll, but thank you all for answering. So let's talk about our answers. Our ranges are, if you answered in the 2 highest ranges, Those are the correct ones. At least a third of our adult population in Riverside County is at or below basic literacy and numeracy standards. And just in case you didn't see those unemployment statistics while she was talking, 46,151 adults and 3,400 of those being veterans in Riverside County.
While we do not have specific workforce programming, we do have a proven system for helping low literate adults with achieving some of their goals. As an example is Marco. He joined the literacy program in July of 2018 as an inspiring entrepreneur and influencer. Marco struggled with reading and math due to his dyslexia. After a year with the program, Marco applied and successfully received a promotion at his workplace. In 2019, we launched Vets Connect at the library. Volunteer benefit coaches assist veterans as they navigate through their benefit resources. Noting an increase in workforce and education requests, we were able to host our first Work for Warriors job fair in July of 2019, where 23 attendees secured full-time jobs or apprenticeships. As daughters of veterans who have struggled with unemployment and even homelessness, we are passionate about continuing to build service endeavors to help vets reintegrate into society with higher success.
Thus begins our development of Excel Corona with a focus on our established audiences. We will create structures similar to our existing programs that can be sustainable beyond future changes to the economy or organizational shifts. We will collaborate with other library staff as well as leverage new community partnerships. Note that our pyramid is not complete as we anticipate establishing more partnerships with local colleges, chambers of commerce, and businesses. The $2,000 would allow us to lay out our foundational services and begin offering 2 levels of support. The stars indicate exactly where funding would go.
To break it down, $800 would support the materials and marketing necessary for staff to develop basic skills workshop. $600 will support innovation workshop speakers for veterans interested in entrepreneurial endeavors, and the remaining $600 will support 4 scholarships for CTE courses at the adult school. Depending on their career track, these scholarships will support between 2 to 5 courses.
Once we secure funding for supplies, we have confirmed that more of our current grant money may be used to support the management of intern or apprenticeships with local businesses. Regardless of funding, we will be working with the Economic Development Office to host 2 job and networking events in 2021. And later this month, I will begin the application process for additional grant funding to grow our job-related nonfiction collection and secure a 10-hour-a-week job counselor. This is a snapshot of our proposed budget with the highlights representing this award. Once we secure supplies costs, we will be able to adjust current workloads to focus on this new endeavor.
Assessing outcomes beyond attendance statistics, we will evaluate Excel Corona using hardwood-style community conversations as well as informal interviews and short surveys. We anticipate that participants will feel more confident and satisfied with skills attainment, applying those skills in their job searches and career advancement. In addition, we will build more partnerships with local businesses interested in working with us for future intern or apprenticeship opportunities.
This concludes our presentation. We greatly appreciate your time and consideration of Excel Corona and look forward to beginning this important work to help aid in the economic self-sufficiency of our community, beginning with our veterans and low literate adults.
Thank you so much, both to Ashley and Danielle. Another big Zoom round of applause for them too. Okay, so now we're getting ready for our final pitch presentation. It's Square One Small Business Services Helping Food Trucks, presented by Hannah Taylor from Mid-Continent Public Library. So Hannah, please feel free to share your screen and take it away.
All right, perfect. Let me get my timer going as well because we all need to stay on top of things. So I want to thank everyone for attending. My name's Hannah, and I'm going to be discussing our plans for our food truck workshop. When the Kansas City community thinks of our library, they think of an expansive collection, unmatched customer service, and food trucks. Yes. Mid-Continent Public Library has been immersed in the food truck community of Kansas City for the last 5 years. And our small business outreach team has been working to support sustainable economic growth in our community by providing access to development opportunities. And that includes the rich Kansas City food truck population. Many people, upon hearing this, ask, why food trucks? We chose this focus based on the high rate of underserved potential business owners attracted to food businesses. The pictures of food truckers that you're currently looking at are all entrepreneurs that we've helped over the last 5 years. And these people are immigrants, minorities, retirees. They've perhaps been recently laid off or they're looking to leave corporate America. But the common denominator among this target audience is that they all have dreams of opening a food truck, but they don't necessarily have the skills, knowledge, or resources to do it successfully. So let's talk about some barriers. The costs associated with opening and running a food truck are higher than most people realize. From truck build outs to marketing to permitting, starting a food truck can cost upwards of $80,000. And yet the food truck industry is outgrowing the commercial restaurant industry year after year. Of course, the pandemic is affecting the food truck industry in many ways. Remote work is affecting business districts, and food trucks typically serve those business districts. Add that to the fact that less than 9% of PPP and EIDL loans have gone to accommodation and food service businesses, and even fewer have actually received any money at all. And this has forced food trucks to pivot. Food trucks are now targeting residential neighborhoods and essential businesses, as well as diversifying their offerings. But without the proper skills and knowledge to do so, food truckers will go out of business. So our half-day seminar is the food truck workshop. We bring in local food experts to walk aspiring food truck owners through the steps necessary to get their truck on the road. Attendees learn about navigating the health department, how to build their truck out, tips for branding and advertising, and then there's deep dives into financial statements. This semi-annual workshop has had over 450 attendees since 2016 and has brought out-of-state food truck dreamers. Due to the recent pandemic, we had to cancel our March workshop, which had over 80 registrations. But since then, we've been fielding phone calls and emails requesting information on how to start a food truck. And it's the popularity of this program that has sparked our interest in broadening our reach. So we would like to hire a professional production company to assist us in recording our next workshop so that we can provide these resources to aspiring food truck owners around the country. Innovation during this crisis shouldn't just be about developing a new app or buying new devices. It should be about creating scalable ways to make online learning work for the underserved communities that haven't had access to those educational opportunities, but are necessary to succeed online. By working with a professional production company and adult education experts, we can change how we deliver that information to increase the impact by acknowledging and working with the barriers that we already know exist. And this can be as simple as making sure that the format works on mobile devices, because we know our customers are using their smartphones as their main source of entertainment and info gathering. So we can measure the reach and validity of this program by doing what libraries do best: data analysis and surveys. We're going to be looking at social media engagements as well as survey feedback to measure the success of the program. And while the main goal obviously is to provide all the information and resources necessary to start a food truck, sometimes a secondary outcome is that people choose not to start a food truck after they've acquired more information on the not so shiny aspects of food truck ownership. So our impact is threefold. Our entrepreneurs increase their business knowledge and gain confidence to operate a business successfully. They are also provided support for wraparound services like digital literacy and soft skills. And when speaking about a local economy, we know that food trucks are a huge part of a community's culture, and the economic impact provided the community a way to shop small, stay social, and support other industries like local breweries, artists, nonprofit organizations. Good food truck experiences result in a positive shift on food truck stereotypes, meaning more people eat at food trucks and more people start food trucks. Lastly is the impact this plan has on libraries across the United States. Our goal is to share this resource with libraries across the nation so that they can create their own food truck economies. This will allow businesses to seek help from the best resources around: libraries. This workshop is replicable for every city across the nation. Libraries can work with their local governments to be the go-to resource for starting a food truck and helping this underserved but prominent demographic in their own communities. We know that business ownership is a tumultuous road sometimes, so our passion lies with helping our customer lay out a map, plan a course, and get to their destination. Thank you all for indulging my food truck ramblings this afternoon. We at Square One are really passionate about helping these foodpreneurs and would like to urge you to ask questions, keep supporting your libraries, and maybe start planning your next meal at a food truck near you. Thank you guys, and please drop those questions in the chat box.
Thank you, Hannah. I know it's 3 p.m. over on the East Coast, but for our West Coasters like myself, it is lunchtime, and food trucks is like the perfect way to end. So we can give a round of applause to Hannah as well to all of our pitch presentations. They were great and fascinating, and I think the judges really have work cut out for them as they deliberate. So at this point, speaking of our judges, I'd like to turn the floor over to our 3 judges, where they will have the opportunity to ask questions and provide feedback. So for Janet, Jim, and if you can feel free to add your comments, feel free to do so. And Daisy, sorry about that.
Not a problem. Should we add our comments straight to the chat, or can we interact with the pitch competitors right now?
Please feel free to go ahead and have, as you're doing now, contribute directly.
Awesome job, everybody. Yeah, those were all really, really exciting. And it was hard to, it was hard to grade because I think everybody just did such a phenomenal, exceptional job. My first question is for the Wayne County librarians. I really love this idea of Project Click. I know that when I'm looking through e-commerce sites, it always catches my eye when I see a photo that's really clear, that's crisp, and I know what I'm buying. My question to you is there some sort of education module included to help people set up their e-commerce sites as well as get those photos that you've taken up onto the sites?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Maybe not.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we've ordered some educational resources to go along with what we have to try to help people with not only the whole project itself, but the databases, for example, how to use things, as well as our reference librarians have been trained, and they will be a resource to the patrons coming in asking for assistance also.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Okay.
I don't have any specific questions right now, but the presentations were all really good. I'm impressed with the amount of work and how polished they came off.
This is Janet. I agree. I'm very, very excited by what you all are undertaking. The one thing I'd like to know from all of you is how are you making that connection to the entrepreneur community? How are you finding people to participate in your programs?
I'll jump in. So one thing that's been successful for us at Nataly Library and I love the resources that were shared earlier in the conference, but we really do go door to door. I mean, we use a lot of our local businesses and small businesses. So part of it is that we've been creating our own videos online that have been so we're a town of 1,500 and we get like 8,000 hits on our videos, which I know doesn't convert to sales for the library, but it does convert to people knowing that we're out there. And so once we've started getting that and people were like, that's awesome. We're like, did you know we could do this? We would love to help do this for you. We also have just gone and reached out like literally door to door, talking to businesses and entrepreneurs, letting them know about the service, because we know it is still quite unusual for public libraries to be seen in that business model. A lot of times, we're seen as business librarians that have EBSCO, or we're seen as having equipment. And forgive me for aging myself, but I was around with all the 3D printers and all that really great fancy equipment that collected a lot of dust after a while because we didn't have the expertise. So I really felt like it was really important, since I've been around a while in library land, to just be very active and go and try to reach out to our entrepreneurs and businesses.
Okay, thank you.
This is Camelia in Wayne County. We also wanted to address that because we used our partnerships with the Small Business Center, with other community organizations to try to reach our target population for this grant. And we were also hopeful that any funds that we received from this competition would help us to do some ads, because our local newspaper is really small, and just connecting with people who aren't already coming into the library is a challenge. But fortunately, we've been working with our community partners. We'd just like to be able to access more people or touch more people, because we are a pretty broad community.
Thank you.
So over at the Corona Public Library, we have quite a few different methods of ways that we kind of go about things. Our first and foremost since the pandemic has hit has been snail mail. So we've been sending mailers, we've been printing out labels, writing out postal codes, things like that to make sure that we get the information we have available here at the library to our patrons and to our community. We've also got a few other things because we are lucky that we are library and recreation services. So we do have a recreation portion that help work and kind of network what we have available here at the library when we can't personally do it ourselves, along with outreach. So we do a lot of outreach where we go out into the community, especially low income communities, and provide story times, provide information, provide our resources such as Vets Connect and adult literacy to our community and to family members, basically, because I know we have family members who attend adult literacy assistance. Like my grandfather-in-law actually is a participant in a program attendee who comes and gets help and services. I know Danny's dad has come through for Vets Connect opportunities. So it really is a multi-wheel of things, how we communicate and get things out.
Great, thanks.
I would like to also address that. This is Pope County. And one of the things that we do at both the Expo and at Elevate to Employment is we have representatives that come from Arkansas Tech University, which has the four-year degree university, and they also have a community college, a satellite, and then another community college that is in the next county over. And they come and they talk about the Career Pathways Initiative so that people who are interested in going and getting that trade and being one of those, that 17.5% of the skilled tradespeople that do their own business, they encourage them to get their certification in the area that they want, whether it's electrician or HVAC or welder or plumber, just whatever it is, and then transfer to the four-year university where all of their certification courses counted as college credits for that. And they've got a business degree that works in with that to give them the four-year business degree as well as the certification.
Okay, does it give a pipeline? Thanks.
I would be quite remiss if I also didn't answer the amazing question. I think everybody said it really well, is that there's no one clear answer, right, for distribution. But what we're doing at Square One and Mid-Continent is everything, right? So we could not succeed without our amazing partners. We've partnered with every group, that could possibly have any relation to food trucks at all. The Hispanic Chambers, Kansas City Food Truck Association, you've got your restaurant associations, your culinary programs, like any place where there might be somebody that has that food truck dream, we've reached out. And then, Facebook ads. We love Facebook ads. They're like our favorite thing in the entire world. Are they hard to figure out? Absolutely. Are we librarians and bound and determined to do it? You betcha. So reaching out that way and getting people that we might not see. Like I said, people are using their smartphones. They're on Facebook. They're using Facebook as a source of research. And so if we can get in front of them that way, that's absolutely what we're going to do. And then again, we've kind of gone a little old school, not with the snail mail yet, but I like that idea if we knew exactly who to send it to. But we have a billboard in a really immigrant rich neighborhood in Kansas City that just says, do you want to start a food truck? And there's that image there, and they know that when they see that logo for the library, they can go there and they can reach out that way. And so that's a weird thing. It's actually in my neighborhood and I see it all the time. And I'm like taking a selfie next to it because I think that's super cool. And then, word of mouth is super, super important as well. Unfortunately, turnover in the food truck industry is still pretty high. We're trying to combat that the best we can. But when those people go out of the business and they need to sell their truck, they're also selling the library with that. They're saying, hey, I can't do this anymore. Somebody will buy that truck. And we're like, okay, give them our information too, because they just spent a ton of money on that truck and they have no idea what they're doing. So we need to sit down with them and have a discussion. We get them in the workshop and give them all the best information we can.
Great. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. So I do want to make sure we have enough time for the audience Q&A. So judges, thank you for your questions and your feedback. At this point, if you do have another question or some direct feedback, feel free to use the chat and put that there. But at this point, I'd like to turn it over to the audience. And I have my very good colleagues, Andrea and Susie, who are going to be our chat moderators. So I'll let you all take it away with that.
Hi, this is Andrea. Susie, I don't know if I missed anything, but it looked like from the questions I saw, the presenters and judges kind of addressed everything with their own questions and comments. So, and all of the comments that I've seen in the chat have been very positive, just reiterating that all of the pitchers, if that's what you call them, have done an excellent job and really did a great job selling what they're doing in their libraries.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that hasn't been addressed either by the judge's question about how they get the word out or about specific questions that were answered by the presenters. But what a lot of fun this was. I really enjoyed the presentations. I do see a new question that just came in from Mimi. Are the frozen librarians teaching people how to do the videos?
Thanks for asking. Yes, that is what we're doing. And I probably should have emphasized more that it's kind of our coaching that we feel like is the thing that sets us apart is one-on-one. So yeah, it is a model of coaching and teaching people how to do the videos themselves. And then when they're done, they leave with one product they're ready to upload, and we help teach them and educate the analytics and the wraparound. And then after that, they're ready to go on their own. But we do for a first video, it's a coaching model.
Terrific. And then Sherry, do you see any way of creating a remote version of your programming?
Okay, there I am. One of the things that we have been doing is there is a virtual job shadow program that we have just put in. We're doing a whole lot of support for our schools. As a former teacher, it's really near and dear to my heart. But if we can't have the expo due to the restrictions on COVID, and we're not allowed to come into the classroom at this point, with the virtual job shadow, we're working with the CTE teachers and also with the counselors, and the kids are getting access to where they're brief videos, like a 3 to 5 minute video, and they give you sort of a day in the life overview, just a capsule characterization of just a huge range of careers, everything from skilled trade to different professional careers. And they have 2 different platforms for that. They have one that is for elementary school, so you can catch them even younger, and then going all the way up through adult.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
So we have a few more minutes before we're going to launch our poll. Oh, and okay, I think maybe a comment came in. So pitch finalists, if there was some information that you were not able to include in your pitch and you have 30 seconds and you would like to include it now, feel free. This is definitely the moment since we have a few extra minutes.
I'll go ahead and take that opportunity. There was a picture up of one of our other library programs that we didn't get to quite talk about, which is our Maker Exchange. For the past 3 years, we were one of 10 libraries in the state of California that received a Makerspace grant, and we've created what's called the Maker Exchange. It's mainly been focused on teens and tweens, but we also will be putting that into our kind of innovation stream and workflow to start getting some of our veterans and low literate adults into the classes that we offer and the tools that they might be able to use either virtually or in person. So we're excited about that part of our library staff growing as well.
And I'll jump in and say, vote for us. We will take our videography skills on the road, and we'll make videos for all the other competitors. And I think we all believe a win-win, right? So vote for us, and we'll make sure that all of us succeed in what we want to do. Thanks so much. I always have chutzpah.
I'll take advantage of this as well. We've just been so excited about spreading the word about what we're doing, because what we have found is that our community is seeing a whole new side of what libraries can do. And that whether our partners are approaching it from an educational or workforce and economic development, or just that need in the industry, or even the battle against poverty, which is what got us started in it, everybody benefits. I mean, feedback from everybody and support has been overwhelming.
Hannah, I know you said you would take too much time, but I also wanted just to make sure. Hannah, Camelia, are we okay?
I mean, I will absolutely jump in here. You know, maybe it's like a Kansas City thing. I know it's not. There's Portland, there's Austin, there's these amazing communities with these really rich food truck communities. But that doesn't mean that everybody's a Portland. You know, we have our friends in Colorado, you know, they're a tiny town. There are still people in that tiny town that have dreams of opening some sort of food business. It might be a food cart. It might be a food product they want to get in stores. They may want to open up a catering service. Everything that we teach is transferable to those people. We're talking, I mean, navigating the health department is like almost worse than going to the DMV sometimes, because there's so many rules. And you have to almost have a legal degree to be able to read those rules and understand them. Now think about our target audience, who are immigrants, who are low to moderate income individuals. They don't have the skills and the knowledge to be able to understand that. That's why we exist, is to explain everything in layman's terms and give them those good tools. So it can exist in small towns. We want it to exist everywhere. We want those small town libraries to be like, we are the place to go for foodpreneurs. And so I know that I'm talking to a bunch of libraries right now. I'm going to drop my contact information in the chat. Write it down. If you want this presentation, if you want our food truck stuff, I'll link it to our Facebook page. All of our resources exist out there online. We just want something bigger and better and more packaged that we can send out to our library partners to really just blow up food trucks. We love food trucks. If anybody's eaten at a food truck, you get it. If you haven't eaten at a food truck, that's your homework today. Figure out where your local food truck is, jump in your car, put your mask on, and then take your mask off, shove it all in, put the mask back on, and you'll understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hannah. Camelia and Cindy, I just want to give you one last chance before we move on, but no pressure at all. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get that poll going. I'm going to share my screen one more time so you can see the list of pitches in the order they were presented, and we'll have Steve in just a second as well put up the poll. And remember, we will share the winners later today, and I'll have the information on that as well. So one second while I open up. So this will be the opportunity for the Audience Choice Award, where you will be able to vote for your favorite pitch. Again, just to help you, let me go ahead and get the pitches up, which I believe in the poll will be listed as well, but just if you need a little reminder. Steve, whenever you're ready, if you want to go ahead and launch the poll. So while that is happening, I just want to give everyone such a big thank you to the team on the ELC planning team, to EBSCO, to Jen, who was a coach, to the judges who have are going to deliberate in the next hour. So thank you so much. And to the pitch finalists, of course, for getting up here and delivering your pitches. So thank you all for this amazing pitch competition. And as a reminder, the winners will be announced during today's virtual happy hour. That's going to be today at 5 p.m. and that is in Eastern time. But we will also re-announce our winners during our welcome and opening that's going to happen tomorrow, Friday at 12:20 p.m. And again, that's going to be Eastern time. So stay tuned. We got the winners yet to be announced. And I know we have just a few minutes before our next presentation, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and let the next round of presenters get ready. Thank you all.
And a big thank you to Nataly and Orlando for leading this very big project, as well as Duncan for hosting it and all the other people involved, including, yes, the pitch people as well. We really appreciate you trying this crazy thing for the first time. So thank you all. And Jillian, we're going to turn it over to you to lead the setup for the next session.
Hey everyone, how are you? I'm Jillian Robbins. I'm going to be leading our next session. So resources and spaces team, Zoe, Annette, and Mark. Are we all here? See Zoe, I see Annette. I don't see you, Mark, but there's 111 people on here, so feel free to shout out. Oh, I see your thumbs up. Perfect.